Right. That's I mean, that's part of building intimacy a lot of the times is, especially from a masculine and feminine perspective, like as a masculine towards a feminine, helping her see like, hey, you keep doing this thing. Like, what do you think that means? I'd really like to
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
And the opposite way too of trying to help like a feminine using her intuition to be like, when you're like you're always scrunching your eyebrows, which is something I do all the time. Like, is there something going on in there? You have some tension, or it's one of those things where it can really open up an understanding of yourself through the curiosity of your partner, and
Mm-hmm.
like that is what starts to create those intimate connections.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes me realize how little I comment on your body or like notice your body image. It makes me want to just get more curious about your body and how
Yeah,
it's
get
presenting.
curious.
Well, because I mean, I think I do unconsciously, but like not necessarily consciously.
Yeah, I have self actualized a lot of my physical responses because trying to like know myself really well and express a lot of my masculinity, I've tried to research this where it's just like, oh yeah, like when I hunch my shoulders like this, or I like, yeah, scrunch my eyebrows, like that puts out a nonverbal message. So it's like, oh no, try and, if I want to try and reflect how I'm really feeling, like this is the way like my body should present. And it's like, just kind of becomes natural after a while. But there's always things that your body's doing that you don't notice. And there's things you do with nonverbal communication that you might even be aware of it, but you might not really know what it truly means.
Mm-hmm.
And your partner's intuition or your partner's just curiosity might even just strike a conversation where you might learn more about yourself and your relationship to each other, because that's what this is all about.
Oh,
That
yeah.
third relationship, you to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
especially as a feminine creature, I am on a journey to speak with my body more because I feel like the
Mm.
masculine can really understand the language of the body more than like I guess he can just like really appreciate when the feminine body like opens to him and
Mm-hmm.
closes to him like
Mm-hmm.
whether that's energetically or he's picking up on like actual the practicality of physical cues.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly which it is, but I've just noticed with you like you're just very attuned to that.
I think we all naturally pick up on energetics way more than we realize or want to admit, because we all like, and I think we internalize it a lot more of like, oh, I'm feeling weird around you. And it's like, oh, that must be a problem with me. When really it's like, no, there's some energetic like static going on that I'm interpreting and it's giving me distress. But body language, I don't think we really naturally like know. I think it's because whenever I learn about body language, whether it's researching it or kind of coming across my own, it's always a like, oh yeah, like that's totally true. It's kind of a mind-blowing experience where you're just like, yeah, when you do that, that does feel like this,
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of
Mm-hmm.
is like, oh wow, now there's a lot more for me to understand.
Yeah.
So I think understanding body language, both from a masculine and feminine perspective of like who does what, because I think there's very similar things we do as men and women, and there's very different things we do as men and women,
Masculine and feminine.
masculine and feminine.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, okay, there was a couple things that I wanted to say.
You need the towel.
I actually don't. I'm actually
Yeah,
okay.
I'm getting acclimated. This is a little side note here that's kind of fun. Like when you get out in hot weather, your body like starts to sweat like crazy, and then after about 5-10 minutes, your body's just like, oh okay, I'm all right, I'm okay.
Like, oh, okay, this is how it
Yeah.
is.
Sweating, that's another
Oh,
crazy huge
yeah, it's
verbal
true.
nonverbal communication. I could,
Blushing, all that kind of
yeah,
shit.
blushing's fun.
Yeah, okay, with my body. I wanted to give an example, and then but I also wanted to say one thing too, is that so often, like as a feminine creature, as somebody like who really speaks from the language of my heart about how I'm feeling, or like I want more intimacy, or I want this, or this is how I'm feeling, like I can just speak in like really feeling words that like your heart parts might understand, and like maybe your mind parts will understand a little bit, but I feel like when I actually show you, instead of saying like I'm feeling sad or I'm feeling scared, if I were to actually like show you with my body what that is like, like I have had the experience that I just feel more understood.
Yeah.
And like I get the response from you that I'm actually looking for. Where, yeah. And so like that's a real challenge for me because I mean, the way that I've learned to navigate life so far has been pretty disembodied. Like I feel like that's also a reason why I was more overwhelmed this time and more shocked coming to another country, is because I'm more in my body than I've ever been before. And I'm just more here. I'm more present. I'm like feeling the sensations and feelings in my body more. And it's a challenge for me to like wear my emotions on my body more. And I want to do that more with you, because I want to learn that skill of like how to communicate with you, because like that's kind of the language of intimacy, is like actually embodying my emotions. My parts are scared about that.